Before the event starts, I would like to ensure that all participants join this platform and that no one has any signal or connection issue. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like your attention, please. Our session is about to begin. Good afternoon, all. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Welcome to the role of communication and media in shaping youth development and well-being webinar. My name is Shafiana S.H and I will be your host for today. Before we get started, I would like to greet the head of the undergraduate program in Applied English, Dr. Supriyono S.S.M.A. The lecturer of Event Management course, Dr. Dewi Cahya Ambarwati, SIP.MA. The speaker of today's webinar, Kak Fadika Sharfina S.H and Kak Nadia Sharfina Rahma. Now, I will give you an overview of today's agenda, and those are opening, singing Indonesia Raya and hymne Gadjah Mada, welcoming session, webinar session, Q&A session, closing session, and documentation. To minimize distractions, all participants will be muted during the presentation. If there are any technical issues, please let us know via chat room, and our support team will help you. Moving to the next agenda is singing Indonesia Raya and hymne Gadjah Mada. So please everyone sit up straight, listen carefully, and sing the song peacefully. Thank you, everyone. Moving on to the next session is welcoming from the head of the undergraduate program in Applied English, Dr. Supriyono SSMA. So, Mr. Supri, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, the Master of Ceremony. Good afternoon, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semuanya. And it is a pleasure for me to welcome you all to the webinar event talk 69, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. First, I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to the organizing committee for their dedication putting together this event, and of course for some invited speakers, Miss Fadila and then Miss Nadia, and also of course Dr. Dewi, Miss Dewi, for this event could be held for 2 days, and hopefully that this distinguished speaker have taken much time for to share the insight with us today. Hopefully that you can learn something, something inspiring thing from them. The theme of this webinar, the role of communication and media in shaping youth development and well-being, of course, is highly relevant in today's fast-changing world. Media and communication have a profound influence on how young people learn, interact, and form their identities. Whether through social media, news, entertainment, or education, the messages we receive daily shape our perspectives, values, and overall well-being. As students and future professionals in communication and media, it is important to understand these influences critically and use them responsibly. Of course, this is when it's great opportunity to explore these topics in depth. I encourage all of you to participate actively and ask questions and engage in meaningful discussion. The knowledge shared today will not only broaden our understanding, of course, but also help us navigate it to the challenges and opportunities presented by modern media. Once again, thank you to everyone involved in making this webinar possible. I look forward to an inspiring discussion from everyone, hopefully. Okay, enjoy the session. I think that's it from me. Thank you very much. Good day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Mr. Supri, for your welcoming speech. Next speech will be delivered by the leader of the group, Vincentius Jevon Daren Devara. For Jevon, the time is yours.
Okay, good morning, everyone. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you all to our webinar, The Role of Communication and Media in Shaping Youth Development and Well-Being. My name is Vincentius Jevon Devara from University of Gadjah, Mada, and I have the honor of being the chairperson of today's event. We are thrilled to have participants from various backgrounds joining us, and we are especially excited to welcome our speakers who will share their insights on today's webinar topic. This is an opportunity for us to explore the crucial role that communication and media play in shaping youth development and well-being. In today's digital era, media influences how young people learn, connect, and perceive the world around them. Effective communication and responsible media consumption are essential in developing critical thinking, emotional well-being, and a more informed society. By understanding the power of media and communication, we can empower you to navigate challenges and opportunities with confidence. This discussion promises to be insightful and thought-provoking. I encourage you, all of you, to engage actively, ask questions, and share your perspective during the Q&A session. Before we begin, I'd like to extend my heartfelt thanks to everyone who made this event possible. A very special thanks to our organizing team for their hard work and dedication. Also, a big thank you to our speakers for taking the time and share their expertise with us. That's all for me. Thank you and enjoy the webinar.
Thank you, Jevon, for your welcoming speech. So now, let's all welcome our moderator for today, Farizka Delisha.
Okay, thank you so much, Shafiana, for the warm introduction. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, I am Farizka Putri, and I will be your moderator for today's webinar session within the theme, The Role of Communication and Media in Shaping Youth Development and Well-Being. Such an interesting topic, right? It is an honor to be here with such insightful speakers and enthusiastic participants. In this session, we will explore how communication and media play a vital role in our personal and social development, especially for us as a youth. Today, we will dive deeper about those topics with speakers and presenters who have been preparing this session before. Without any further ado, let's welcome our presenters, Maymun, Aisyah, Yunita, and Nadia. Okay, are you guys here? Okay, hi guys.
So,
Okay, so okay guys, so we have gathered with first group of presenter, and I would like to ask something for this group. What do you have prepared guys for today's webinar?
So we prepare the PPT, the material from our articles in the journal, and we are ready to like education all the people in here in our webinar about the role of social media in in brand growth and influence, and then the management and in public relations.
Oh, interesting. Thank you so much, Maymun. Okay, without taking any longer time, let's welcome the first presenters, Maymun, Aisyah, Yunita, and Nadia.
All right. Thank you, moderator, for the time. Okay, so hello, good afternoon, everyone. I'm from Group 1. My name is Aisyah, and here I'm with my friends, Yunita, Nadiva, and Maymun. And we are going to explain about social media's role in amplification and influence, amplifying engagement, brain growth, and digital influence through social media. Okay, so how does social media contribute to influencing society? But before that, Yunita will explain about the background of our discussion first. So Yunita, come is yours.
All right, thank you, Aisyah, for the time. In today's digital era, social media has transformed from a simple communication into a powerful force that shapes public opinion, engagement, and consumer behavior, also global trends. This presentation explores the role of social media in amplification and influence, examining its impact on communication, societal behaviors, and its profound influence on society, highlighting both its benefits and challenges. So these are the table that we will present. And the next material about the history of the internet will be explained by Aisyah. So Aisyah, time is yours.
All right. Thank you, Yuna. So here I will explain about pre-internet roots or the history of the internet. Okay. So, social media started on May 24, 1844. And at first, it was just dots and dashes typed on a telegraph machine. Then, the first version of social media began with ARPANET, or Advanced Research Project Vacancy Network, in okay. Wait, sorry for the interruption.
Sorry for the interruption. The PPT is a little bit late, so
Go to slide, please.
Go to pre-internet root slide, please.
Next slide.
Next.
Next.
Next, please. Okay, thank you. So here I will explain about pre-internet roots or the history of internet. So social media started on May 24, 1944. And at first it was just dots and dashes typed on a telegraph machine. Then the first version of social media began with ARPANET or Advanced Research Projects Agency Network in 1969. And this was a network created by the US Department of Defense. And in 1987, the National Science Foundation or NSF built a stronger digital network called NSFnet. Then in 1997, they launched the first public social media platform called 60 Next slide, please. Okay, so what is social media? Social media is defined as computer mediated communication channels that allow users to engage in social interaction with broad and narrow audiences in real time or asynchronously. And what is social media used for? Especially in this digital era, social media is used for communication, marketing, public engagement, and information sharing. And for the next one, we have comparative data of global digital statistic, which will be explained by Nadiva. Nadiva, time is yours.
Next slide.
Okay, thank you, Aisyah. To the next slide, please. Okay, so here we have the comparative data of global digital statistics from 2015 and 2024 from datareportal.com and wearesocial.com. The evolution of digital technology has significantly transformed over the past decade. This comparative analysis examines the key digital statistics, highlighting changes in internet usage, social media adoption, and mobile connectivity. Next slide, please. And here we have the table of the growth of the digital users all around the world. Every aspect had grown over the decade. Population about 800 million, and next, users to around 2.27 billion. Social media users grew from 2.9 billion, and lastly, mobile users to around 1.99 billion. With this comparison, we have production that over the city, it usage jump. Mobile connectivity as social media play a key role. Next, please. So now we're moving to our next section about social media.
Phenomena. The first case of environmental education and business, the power of social media marketing, will be presented by Aisyah. Aisyah, I appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Nadiva. Next slide, please.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Next slide, please. Okay, thank you. So here I will explain about bridging education and business, the power of social media marketing. And based on the article that I read, social media influences social phenomena in first one is business promotion and economic support. So the article hashtag open for business student promotion of community organization and businesses on social media explores the role of social media in supporting local businesses and community organization, particularly during time of economic disruption, example pandemic like COVID-19, natural disaster, etc. And the second one is bridging theory and practice. So the study emphasizes experiential learning, where students can gain hands-on experience in digital marketing, content creation, and consumer engagement. And the next one is enhancing marketing and communication skill. So students learn critical marketing strategies such as design thinking, messaging, and call to action techniques, which are essential for professional growth in the digital age. And next, we have community engagement and social innovation. So, social media not only promotes businesses but also foster community connections. The campaign encourage businesses to interact with customers in meaningful ways. And the last one, we have personal branding and career development. So the research findings suggest that students improve their design, messaging, and branding skills throughout the campaign. The study concludes that social media is not just a marketing tool, but also allows students to build their digital marketing portfolios, improving their employability and professional development. So we can conclude that social media is a powerful tool for business growth, education, and community engagement. That means it is an essential skill in modern marketing and communication. That's all from the first case, and the next phenomena will be explained by Yunita. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Aisyah, for the time. So, next slide, please. All right. So the next phenomena is about the use of social media from engagement to digital marketing in India. So about the article that I read, in 2014, social media was mainly for engagement, not heavy marketing. But by 2021, it became a key marketing tool with ads and influencers shaping consumer behavior. This shift has changed how we shop, view brands, and how much we spend time online. Next slide, please. All right, thank you. So now we move to the key differences of using social media in 2014 and 2021. In 2014, social media focused on engagement and awareness, with users interacting through likes, shares, and comments, while marketing relied on organic engagement. But by 2021, it has shifted towards digital marketing and sales, where consumer behavior was shaped by paid ads and influencers, making social media a key tool for business growth. Next slide, please. Thank you. And then how does social media impact society? So for deeper understanding, we have a table containing four main impacts of positive and negative impact about social media on society. There's about communication, consumer behavior, marketing, and influence. Social media has changed society in many ways. Social media has increased online engagement, shaped consumer behavior, and boosted business growth. However, it also fuels impulsive buying, ad saturation, and misinformation. While social media is beneficial, its challenges require awareness. Next slide, please. All right, so we can conclude that over the years, social media has evolved from a simple engagement tool to a powerful marketing platform. In 2014, it was mainly for brand interaction, but by 2021, targeted ads become a key strategy. As social media continues to shape our lives, ethical marketing and digital awareness are more important than ever. All right, that's all from me. And the next material is about cannabis that will present by Maymun. Maymun, time is yours.
So now we're going to talk about the most illegal brands, but social media can rebrand this thing into a legal selling items brands. It's cannabis. Since 2018, cannabis has legalized cannabis in their country. Next slide, please. Okay, let me start again. So now we're going to talk about the most illegal brand, but social media can rebrand this thing into a legal selling item brands. It's cannabis. Since 2018, cannabis has legalized in their country, and the government tried to rebrand these things so cannabis can be sold, using social media as an instrument. The study reveals that cannabis marketing on social media in Canada borrows heavily from established advertising codes to create legitimacy and consumer appeal. It extends critical advertising research to the emerging cannabis industry, showing how social media branding constructs product desirability while circumventing strict regulation. Policymakers should recognize that even regulated informational cannabis promotion on social media still employ sophisticated advertising tactics that shape public perception. Next slide, please. So, how do we apply the rebranding strategy to our product? According to that statement using social media, the studies identify 7 recurring visual cliches in legal cannabis branding. Number 1, auspicious production. Lab-like setting legitimize cannabis. Number 2, O of cannabis. Close-ups create a mystical scientific appeal. Number 3, glamorizing accessories. Soft focus and pastel add luxury. Number 4, on the go. Paired with lifestyle essential. Next slide, please. Number 5, freedom of open space. Linked to nature and adventure. Number 6, authentic home experience. Framed as self-care and relaxation. And number 7, you can use your product with necessary ingredients tied to food, gathering, and social events. And now we are going to talk about another illegal item, but it's alcohol, and Nadiva will accompany you in this talk. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Maymun. To the next slide, please. To the next slide, please. Okay, thank you. So a study in 2019 elaborated on how social media provides opportunities for adolescents to participate with commercial marketing and user-created promotion, and how this is associated with higher risk of alcohol consumption and brand identification in the United Kingdom. Next slide, please. Thank you. We can see a few causes and impacts from alcohol marketing. Firstly, adolescents' participation with alcohol marketing in social media can provide frequent exposure, brand familiarity, and social acceptance of drinking. While next, active alcohol influence from peers can fuel drinking desire among young people, or in nowadays terms is FOMO, or fear of missing out. Next slide, please. Third, constant exposure and algorithm from social media can also increase the normalization of drinking among adolescents. And last but not least, lack of an effective age restriction system also plays a big role in adolescents' exposure to alcohol contents. Next slide, please. Okay, thank you. And the conclusion is social media plays a significant role in shaping alcohol consumption by providing opportunities to engage with both commercial alcohol marketing and user-created promotion. Engaging in content made by peers is associated with higher risk consumption than commercial, as this is also related to feelings of normalization that develop after watching alcohol consumption by content by peers. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, the conclusion of our talks is social media shapes how we communicate, shop, and engage with brands. It drives business growth and spreads trends, but also brings challenges like fake news and impulsive shopping. As it evolves, we must use it wisely for our positive impact. Next slide, please. Okay, so these are the references that we use for our topic. Next slide, please. And that's all from group 1. I would like to give back the time to our MC. Thank you for listening to us.
Okay, thank you so much, Maymun, Aisyah, Yunita, and Nadia for your insightful presentation. I also agree that social media indeed play a significant role in shaping public perception and also influence us. So, because of the time limits, guys, now we move on to our second presentation. That's even more interesting. So the presenters have been prepared the theme of the role of PR and communication in advocating mental health towards adolescents. Of course, this is also important thing to know, especially for us as a teenager. So please welcome Ridho, Saffana, Najma, and Zahwa. Hello guys. You are here?
Yes, we're here.
Okay. Hi Ridho, Saffana, Najma, and Zahwa. So how are you doing guys?
We are great and we are excited to share our presentations about this topic.
Okay, without any further ado, let's take this stage please. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity to present today and good afternoon everyone. We are group 3 and we are honored to be here to present about the role of PR and communication in advocating mental health towards adolescents. But firstly, can we please see our presentation? Oh, thank you. Excuse me, committee. I think we think that it's not our presentation. Okay, so before our members are Ridho, Firda, Najma, and myself, Zahwa. Okay, before we delve into the topic, everyone, we believe that it's essential to first understand about what mental health really is. To begin, let us take a closer look at its definitions and significance about mental health. Can we please go to the next slide? The next one. Okay, so what is mental health? By the World Health Organization, mental health refers to a state of well-being in which individuals can cope with everyday stress, perform their tasks efficiently, and actively participate in their community. So, what is the significance? Why this topic of mental health is so important? Can we please go to the next slide? Okay, so global trends show a significant rise in mental health issues, especially among young people. 1 in 5 teenagers worldwide experiences mental health disorder. Also, research in the importance of positive parenting in predicting adolescents' mental health found that positive parenting plays a crucial role in adolescents' mental health. So, also a study in social media and mental health revealed that excessive social media use increases the risk of anxiety and depressions among adolescents. But everyone, while we know how important mental health is, the next question is, do people really understand mental health? According to the role of interpersonal communications in mental health literacy intervention for young people by Health Communication Journal, less than 50% of teenagers in the US can recognize signs of mental health disorders such as depressions and anxiety. Also, according to the first national survey on adolescents' mental health in Indonesia, approximately around 5% of adolescents with psychiatric disorders, with anxiety and depression as the most common diagnosis, only 2% of them use mental health services. So, should we need help? Yes, but when should someone seek help? So, the American Academy, can we please go to the next slide? Okay, so the next one too. Okay, thank you. One of the first the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry identifies a few warning signs, some of warning signs. One of the first indicator is behavioral changes. A person who once had a stable routine might suddenly struggle with sleeping or eating habits. So persistent emotional distress is another case signs too. It's like feeling sad, anxious, or irritable occasionally is normal, but when those emotions become overwhelming and interfere with daily life, they may point to a deeper issue. In some cases, even distrust leads to risky behaviors such as self-harm, substance abuse, or reckless actions. Another crucial sign is social withdrawal. Someone who once enjoyed spending time with friends or pursuing hobbies might start isolating themselves and also losing interest in activities, they once loved. But even though we know how important and we see the sign of those issues, why don't we seek help? Why we decline? Why some of the people decline the fact that we need help? So it will be explained by my friend Ridho. Ridho, time and place is yours.
Okay, thank you, Zahwa, for the opportunity. So, in this section, I will explain about the reason why people feel hesitant to look for help. Okay, so in short, there are four main barriers that make people not intend to seek help. So, the first one is social stigma. Basically, stigma can take many forms, such as social discrimination, exclusion from opportunities, and also limited access to high quality service. Many societies still hold misconceptions about mental health, often perceiving it as a sign of weakness and personal failure. The stigma discourages adolescents from openly discussing their struggles and seeking help, which it can lead to an endless cycle of silent suffering. The second one is lack of awareness. Without proper education on mental health, individuals might not realize that persistent sadness, anxiety, or even mood swings could indicate a deeper issue. Additionally, some people may not be familiar with available treatments, assuming that mental health problems are untreatable or will resolve on their own. The third one is limited access. So, mental health service can be scarce, especially in underdeveloped areas. Financial constraints also play a role, as therapy and medication can be expensive, and insurance coverage for mental health care is not always sufficient. The last one is about cultural pressure. In some cultures, religious beliefs may also influence attitudes toward seeking professional help. So, some people may be encouraged to rely on prayer or faith-based solutions rather than therapy or medication. A fear of being judged by family or maybe friends can make the individuals hesitant to open up about their struggles. So, the conclusion is, does everyone care about it? While mental health awareness is increasing, a study in the effectiveness of a digital media mental health literacy campaign for young people, which is took from Journal of Mental Health, emphasized the need for further education to change societal perspective. So, by improving communication, we can reshape how the world views mental health and ensure more people receive the support they need. Thank you all for your attention. Now let's move to the next topic, which will be explained by my friend Saffan.
Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so does it need to be communicated? The answer is yes. Effective communication is critical to building awareness and shaping people's perspective on mental health. By improving communication, we not only build awareness, but we create a culture where people feel empowered to seek help without fear. Effective communication is key to reducing stigma, encouraging help seeking, and building a supportive environment. This includes media campaigns, public figures and influencers, and also peer and family support. Next, we're gonna talk a case study from Marshanda and Halodo. The first one is from Marshanda. So Marshanda is an Indonesian actress who has openly shared her struggle to cope with bipolar disorder. Through this experience of dealing with mental illness, Marshanda invites the public to not see people with mental health disorders as a shame. Marshanda quite often shares stories about her mental health issues through interviews, podcasts, and social media content uploads. She also offers solutions and optimism, such as the importance of self-love and therapy by professionals. And the next case study is from Halodoc. So Halodoc, the most comprehensive digital health service ecosystem in Indonesia, presents the Pejuang Mental campaign. Through this campaign, it is hoped that more people who experience indication of mental health disorders can seek help for psychological treatment. The launch of the Pejuang Mental campaigns by Halodoc is closely related to the increasing public awareness of the importance of mental health. According to research by IDN Research Institute, 51% of Gen Z and 42% of millennials view mental health as an important issue. Along with this increasing awareness, Halodoc also record an increase in mental health consultation by an average of 23% each year. Most of the complaints in this consultation are related to anxiety disorders, depression, and relationship counseling. So the next part will be presented by my friend Najma. For Najma, time is yours.
All right, thank you, Firda. So finally, we are going to talk about anticipation, mitigation, and response. Because raising awareness is only the first step, we also need strategies to anticipate, mitigate, and respond to mental health challenges. The first step is anticipation. We can prevent mental health issues by first talking about mental health more openly at school, work, etc., so it doesn't feel like a taboo topic. Second, we have to check in on people we are close with more than just a simple, how are you? Instead, allow them a safe space to share their thoughts without fear of judgment. And third, be mindful of early signs of stress or emotional struggles, like a friend suddenly withdrawing or acting differently than usual. And then the second step is mitigation. We can mitigate the negative effects of mental health issues by first being a good listener instead of rushing to give advice. Sometimes people just need to feel heard. And the second is help create a safe environment where talking about mental health feels normal, whether at home, in friend groups, or within a community. And the third one is we have to remind ourselves and others to maintain balance, get enough rest, exercise, and find activities that bring comfort or relaxation. And finally, the last step is response. We have to take action when issues arise by first, if a friend opens up about their struggles, don't dismiss it with sentences such as, you'll be fine, or just don't think about it. Instead, encourage them to seek professional help if needed. Second is save helpline numbers or crisis hotlines just in case. Sometimes having quick access to support can make all the difference. And then lastly, don't let a friend feel left alone. A simple, hey, are you free to talk? Or inviting them out for a walk can mean more than you think. All right, next slide, please. So what can we conclude from this presentation? We can conclude that mental health is not just about treating disorders, but also about creating an environment where people feel safe and supported. Through effective communication, we can raise awareness, break down stigma, and ensure that mental health issues are addressed with urgency and empathy. All right, next slide, please. So these are the references that we use for this presentation. And next slide. All right, so thank you. And I would like to give out a word from Group 3. Let's commit to fostering an environment where seeking help is encouraged, conversations about mental health are normalized, and no one feels alone in their struggles. That's all from Group 3. We thank you for your attention and participation.
Wow, thank you so much, Group True. Okay, that was a great presentation about PR's role and communication and mental health. That was a really interesting theme, by the way. So now we are knowing that help people who struggle with mental health issues can be start from effective communication. We should start the anticipation, mitigation about mental health issue since the first. Okay, now let's talk about a crucial aspect of our daily lives about communication in our daily life, especially in family communication. Without any further ado, let's shift our focus to how family communication shapes a child's future with Zahra, Ki, Raisa, and Naafi.
Okay.
Thank you for the time given.
Okay, so you guys can start your presentation. So the stage is yours, guys.
Okay, thank you for the time given from the MC. So previously, we already heard a new information from Group 2 about the role of PR and communication in advocating mental health towards adolescents. And now we are going to talk about how family communication shapes a child's future. My name is Qiyya with my friends Zahra, Raya, and Naafi. And today we will guide you through the critical role family communications plays in shaping not only a child's present, but also their long-term emotional security and life. Next slide, please. Thank you. So we need to understanding why communication in familyhood is so important. Family is humanity's most fundamental social institution. Before we become part of broader communities, we are first shaped by our family, the people closest to us. In fact, our family is the first community we interact with since birth, and it becomes the foundations where we learn about trust, emotions, and relationships. This is why the way parents communicate with their children becomes the child's first lesson in emotional well-being and social interactions. Next slide, please. Thank you. Now let's look deeper into how communication shapes a child's emotional security. According to Roberto and the other authors, at 2009, different types of communications by parents can have different emotional impacts on their children. A type of communications I want to talk here are verbal aggressions. Research by Infant and Wheatley at 1986 defines verbal aggressions to attacking a person's self-concept. This includes insults, threats, yelling, teasing, and even criticism, as messages aimed at attacking another's character, appearance, or competence. On the other hand, there's responsiveness communications, as explained by Euler and Opliker at 2003. Responsiveness refers to an individual's ability to understand the needs of others and to effectively communicate that understanding. It is the ability to understand and respond to the needs of others empathetically and warmly. These two contrasting communication styles will lead to very different emotional outcomes in children. Next slide, please. Thank you. Now let's break down what Roberto and the other author at 2009 found in their study. So the result of this study about the implementations of verbal aggressiveness in familyhood are parents who frequently use verbal aggressions tend to have children with insecure attachment styles, which full of fearful, avoidant, or anxious. These children perceive their parents as less supportive, which results in lower relational satisfactions. Simply put, there is a negative correlation between parental verbal aggression and the child's emotional well-being and trust. Next one is responsiveness. So, the responsive parents are more likely to raise securely attached children. These children report higher satisfaction in their relationships with their parents. With positive, empathetic, and warm communications, it builds trust, emotional security, and better relationship quality. Next slide, please. Thank you. So to make this even clearer, here's a simple example based on a real Quora user's experience. Their cites it's the impact of verbal aggressive communications. This user shared that constant yelling, criticism, or belittling by their parents made them feel insecure and fearful, even get a PTSD and anxiety disorder because of it. And the other side, an impact of responsive communications. Their parents took time to listen and respond with warmth and understand,
so their children may also get more empathic to others and well-behaved. This aligns perfectly with what the research shows about communication in the family shapes how children see themselves and how they are relate to others for the rest of their lives. Next, please.
Thank you. So, protects children from online dangers. And it's gonna be online sexual grooming and abuse children via internet communication platform. In today's world, online sexual grooming involves offenders exploiting internet communication platform to engage children for sexual purposes. So as you guys can see, like most of internet like X, Instagram, TikTok, and Discord is already can used by most between offenders and victim grooming behavior. Next slide, please. Thank you. So first of all, I'm going to talk about spot online grooming. So first of all, they're gonna become secretive about their activities, receiving like unusual gifts from someone else. Then suddenly they keep secret from adults. Then they ask to meet up with someone they met online. And the last one is going to be they have like knowledge of sex inappropriate for their age. Then, so most offenders and victim is going to be male offenders ages 27 to 52. Then the victim is going to be children aged 11 until 15 years. And it can happen in both genders, which is male and female. Then we're going to talk about stages of grooming process. So the first one is going to be friendship. The second is going to be relationship. The third is risk assessment stage. And then the fourth, exclusivity stage. The fifth, sexual stage. And the last one, damage limitation or hit and run tactic. Next slide, please. Thank you. So here is some example of online grooming that I have found on the internet. And the one in the white things is going to be the offender's chat to the victim. Then, as a family, what will we do for these cases? So, the prospector revealed that they used to act like a charming, kind, and helpful person. So, but does our kind person is going to be the offenders? No, it's not. So, as a family, we should aware about it and tell our family about the risk and the fundraise about it. So, make sure they know that they can come to you if something crosses the line. Next slide, please. Thank you.
Moving on to the next subtopic, what is the importance of communication on child sexual reproductive health, or SRH? Parent-child communication can bring changes in children's attitudes, norms, practices, and knowledge about sexual behavior. Most importantly, we have to acknowledge that talking about sexual education is not taboo. It is important to shape a better future for a child. In fact, parent child communication about sexual reproductive health has the potential to reduce children's risky behaviors. Along with good sexual reproductive health, there is some evidence that suggests parent child communication has the potential to improve academic grades and decision making of children. Next slide, please. Thank you. To give a simple example, a good can determine the time a person first having sex, which also affected their understanding of better sexual negotiation skills and better understanding of contraception sexual life, reducing the chance of getting sexual reproductive related disease like HIV and AIDS. a child knowledge health decisions. Slide, please.
Okay, let's move on to the next topic. Parents-child communication to solve bullying. So we all know that bullying is a common issue among teenagers and have negative impact for mental or social well-being. So according to Always 1994, bullying is a student is being bullied or victimized when he or she is exposed repeatedly and over time to negative actions on the part of one or more other students. And types of Okay. Next is the role of parents. Parents are primarily responsible for raising their children, providing emotional, financial support. 1988, the role of parents in the development of their children can be understood by examining social learning theory. Social learning theory suggests that children's social development is shaped by parents and significant adults in their lives. Next slide, please. Thank you. So bullying cases happen everywhere, including in Indonesia. Many cases of bullying among teenagers still occur, impacting both their physical and mental well-being. So what is the correlation between good communication? Communication plays a crucial role in helping children manage their mental health when dealing with problems. And this is data from 225 students and one of their parents from 7 schools in a large Western Canadian urban center. And there are 4 bullying types and comparison between children with high communication and low communication. And this study shows that score children with high communication is bigger than children with low communication. Next slide. Between parents and children is important. So why is
Hi, Zahra. Hi, Zahra.
communication between children and parents is important?
Hi, Zahra. So sorry we can't hear
Especially
you.
when children and good Okay, am I audible?
Yes, okay. You can continue your presentation.
So why is communication between children and parents is important? Okay. So why is communication between
between children and parents is such as bullying. Good communications help children feel more confident, express their feelings, build emotional intelligence and understanding, and it can help to prepare children for real life challenges. The study suggests that fostering open, supportive, and understanding communication within families can equip children with more constructive problem-solving tools when confronted with bullying. Because when parents are open, supportive, and willing to discuss issues, we as children feel more comfortable seeking advice and learning healthier ways to deal with conflict. On the other hand, if communication is poor, we might resort to ineffective responses, such as ignoring the problem or facing it aggressively. Next slide, please. Thank you. And the last is conclusion. Communication within a family is more than just talking. It is the foundation of a child's emotional, social, academic, and psychological development. The research supportive family communication grow up with stronger emotional resilience, healthier relationships, and better problem-solving abilities. By prioritizing communication, families and bonds and prepare children for a successful future. Open, empathetic, and supportive communication in our own families and communities. That's all from us. And now I'd like to give the time back to the moderator. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Zahra, Ki, Raisa, and Naafi for highlighting the importance of family communication in shaping a child's growth and development. It's clear that family communication has a lasting impact when we are growth. So now, before we move to the next session, I would like to you guys pay attention and fill the attendance form that have been shared in the Zoom chat. So for everyone, please pay attention to the link that have been shared with the committee. Okay, now let's move on to our next session. The next session is we will hear invited speaker for presentation. Now we are honored to introduce you guys our next speaker, Kak Nadia Shafiana Rahma. Okay, Kak Nadia, she is an inspiring individual with a strong background in language, education, and also public speaking, guys. So Nadia is a Duta Bahasa DIY 2024, and now she is an active student at University of Negeri Yogyakarta. She is a content creator on TikTok, and she is also an English speaking tutor at Speaking Indonesia and Central English. Beyond her teaching role, she is an awardee of Beasiswa Unggulan and a BIPA tutor at FBSB UNY. Contributing to language education in Indonesia, Nadia is also a dedicated volunteer at Bina Antar Budaya Yogyakarta and was a Kennedy Luger Youth Exchange and Study 2021 until 2022 awardee. She has represented Indonesia on international stage, including as a speaker at International Education Week and an alumni of Better Understanding for a Better World PUBW 2022. So let's welcome Kak Nadia.
Hi, Farizka.
Hi, Kak Nadia. So how are you today, Kak?
I'm great. What about you? How are you today?
Of course, Alhamdulillah, I'm great too. So, Kak Nadia will be sharing her insight, guys, about why public speaking matters. Without any further ado, let's Kak Nadia to take the stage.
Thank you, Farizka. Hi, everyone. Good evening, I think. Hi, how are you today? Thank you so much, Farizka, as the moderator, and thank you so much for all the committee that make this webinar happens. And thank you so much for having me here. I'm so glad to finally meet you. And I also, watch some presentations of you, and you guys, honestly, you have really good public speaking skills already. So yes, today I would love to share a little bit about public speaking. So we're kind of, diving a little bit deeper for today, talking about public speaking. All right, can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, all right. I know Farizka introduced me already here, but anyway, I want to introduce myself too again for you guys directly. So nice to meet you. My name is Nadia Shafiana Rahma. I go by Nadia. You can call me Nadia, and now I'm a student at Yogyakarta State University or Universitas di Yogyakarta, majoring in English education or pendidikan bahasa Inggris. And as Farizka mentioned before, I am currently a language ambassador or Duta Bahasa Daerah Istimewa Yogyakarta 2024. Anyway, we're opening the registration for Duta Bahasa 2025. So if you have interest in literacy and also language, I really recommend you to register for Duta Bahasa DIY 2025. Right, that's the thing. And then, yes, my background is actually, as you can see here, it's about English and also literacy. So beside English and also public speaking backgrounds, I started all of them from the literacy because I am also a writer. I've been writing since I was in elementary school. So if you guys familiar with Kecil-Kecil Punya Karya, if you're in the same age, you probably know KKPK, Kecil-Kecil Punya Karya. So yes, I am a writer of 21 books now. And yes, as I said before, we can go to the next one. Beside this, now I'm also an English tutor. And beside being an English tutor offline and also online, I'm also a content creator on TikTok. So if you love to learn English, of course you like English. So yes, I share my teaching experience also on TikTok. So yes, that's what I'm doing there as a content creator. Okay, we can go to the next one. Okay, so today, as I said, because our big topic or the main topic or theme of today's webinar is about communication, right? So communication is really wide, actually. There's communication in, public, in education purpose, in the maybe business communication thing. And one of the branches is actually public speaking. So in this session, we will talk a little bit about public speaking. Maybe I know you guys all are familiar with public speaking already because, well, many people talk about it, of course. But yes, now we will talk what is actually public speaking, why public speaking matters, and what the benefits that we can get. Including, we will also talk at the end how to build a good public speaking skill as a young generation, specifically as the college students like us here. How do we practice it and how we improve our public speaking skills? Okay, we can go to the next one. Okay, so let's start with the basic question that you guys probably can ask to yourself too. What is actually public speaking? When you heard the word or the term public speaking, what comes in your mind first? Because I know everyone has their own opinion about public speaking itself, even though, as I said, we're familiar with public speaking already. But what is public speaking? Probably, next one, probably the thing that we can say, because, well, the word is public speaking. So that means speaking in public. But actually, public speaking is much more than speaking in public. Because if you speak in public, I think everyone can do that. We can just, in the crowd of people, and then we talk in front of them. Everyone can do that. But the key point, or the important part of the public speaking itself, is how we make people engage with what we're talking about, how to make them actually be quiet, pay attention, and be focused, and they're actually curious what we're talking about at that time. And I think that's a skill that we need to learn, and the important skill nowadays, because public speaking actually is really important in every field that we work on. So yes, speaking is more than speaking in public. It's how we deliver our ideas effectively, clearly, make people understand what we're actually talking about without being, like we're like teaching them. So that's the point of public speaking. Next one. Okay, so another basic question beside what is public speaking actually, because I mentioned several times that public speaking matters, public speaking is important, but why? What is the benefits that we can for having a good public speaking skills? Actually, next one. So based on my experience and also based on my observation, so these are several benefits or the advantages that we can get by having good public speaking. So the first point here, good public speaking means we have good communication. Because of course, when we want to have, if we want to tell something, well, I understand this is actually lead to the next point, which is it's easier to deliver our ideas, collaborate with others, and build a relationship. So what I said, good public speaking means good communication. It's because I'm sure everyone has the brilliant idea inside their head, and the hard part is actually to explain it to other people, so that's actually the skill of the communication, which is public speaking itself, that how do we express our ideas, or how do we explain to other people clearly so people can understand and we can actually implement our ideas. Because I think it's not, it doesn't make sense if we just have the idea inside our head without actually explaining it to other people. So it's really important to deliver what we want to other people. And the next one is collaborate. It's because, nowadays in this era, it's not, maybe you've heard about it too, it's not the time to just work with ourselves, like by ourselves individually. So it's time to collaborate with others, to have a big event, for example, like this webinars. Of course, it's not an easy thing to do. I'm sure maybe in the short time that you guys have, maybe really difficult to make it happen. But with a good communication skill and also public speaking, see, like now you guys make it. So now you make this webinar, all the collaboration, including the speakers, like the speakers, also the guest speakers happen. So that's actually one of the benefits of having good communication, also public speaking. And beside that, it built a good relationship with others. Of course, when we communicate, we talk to a lot of people, and that also will build a good relationship with them. And as I mentioned before, good communication and public speaking always be useful because it helps us in any field we work on, whether it's about, as I mentioned, business, maybe if you want to sell something to other people, or as simple as you want to say something to your friends or your teacher, or any field, basically like actually any field that we work on, public speaking and good communication skills is really important. And the last one, beside, good communication, public speaking specific here, it will build more confidence in us. And, have you ever heard or have you ever seen someone talk in front of a lot of people, but they don't feel confident? We can just tell So that make ourselves maybe like we kind of think twice about they're talking about. But by having good public speaking skills, it will build confidence when we speak in front of a lot of people, and people will trust what we're talking about. That's the confidence that we will get from having good public speaking and good communication. So overall, public speaking has a huge positive impacts in our life, whether in education purpose or even in the work purpose or the job that we have in the future. Okay, let's get the next slide. Okay, so why I always mention that public speaking matters, public speaking is important, because I experience it by myself. So before we talk more about more technical things about public speaking, I would like to share a little bit of my experience about how public speaking actually changed my life. Next one. Okay, so these are some documentations that I have about my public speaking journey. Actually, these are like the recent public speaking journey, or maybe like a year ago, like the past 1 or 2 years. But actually, talking about public speaking, I've been doing that since I was in elementary school. So I mentioned before, well, this is just a personal thing, but I was really shy person back then when I was a kid. And there is the stereotype that, oh yeah, shy person, they cannot talk in front of a lot of people, they cannot like talk or having a good public speaking skills. And apparently those stigma or the thought kind of stuck in my head for years actually. But as I mentioned before, I was writing back then. I'm writing since I was a kid. And apparently, little did I know from the writing skills or the thing that I really like to do back then, I didn't know that apparently that led me to finally know what is public speaking. Because, as a young writer, apparently a lot of people was interested about it. And I started to get, some events, invitation to be a speaker. I have to say that my first experience of public speaking was not really perfect at all. Well, just imagine like elementary school student, they talk in front of like adults. Of course, that's, a lot of, I felt scared and then I felt nervous as well. Maybe you felt that too. But, well, that's a process that we have to face if we want to have a good public speaking. Yes, our first several shows or talk show, probably it's not that good, probably bad. But I'm sure the more stages that you have, the more experience that you got, it will automatically build our public speaking skills itself. So if you feel like maybe like in university, oh yeah, this is my first time talking in front of a lot of people, and well, I was really scared, I wasn't satisfied with what I'm doing, well, that's fine. You have to face that, and then as time goes, the more experience you got, you will get better and better. So that's a thing. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so if you remember, I mentioned that it built a good communication and also built a good relationships to other. So yeah, from the public speaking itself, apparently the thing that I know that public speaking opened a lot of new doors for me, including as we mentioned earlier, that I was an awardee for exchange program, KLES program, if you've ever heard about it. So apparently the public speaking, good communication, and also English skills is really important whenever you go. Especially, well, because I know you guys all here can speak English well. So that's actually a really good point that you have. Because one day, probably if you go abroad or you have opportunity to do exchange program or you continue your study abroad, we will use that. Beside English, we will use the good communication skills itself. And by having that, when you meet a lot of people there, with any person that you met there, it's gonna be more than acquaintance or like we know them, that's all. But we will build like actually good communication with them, like emotional relation to them as well. So trust me, good communication, public speaking, and English, if we have all of them, it will give us a lot of benefits. We can go to the next one. So talking about like the exchange experience about, well, besides friends, of course, well, if you've ever heard, yeah, probably you're familiar with the exchange program. We have the host family there, and apparently, if we don't have like good communication and also public speaking skills, it's gonna be harder to build the relation with them, because even though, well, yes, we both speak English at that moment, but there is, if you've ever heard, there is a language barrier that of course happen. So that's like the challenge is to adapt really well and also always communicate everything that we felt to the people that we met there. And then let's go to the next one. Still about the experience. It's not just for the same like Indonesian, but also people from the countries, not just America, probably from other countries as well. So just remember that having good public speaking, that will confidence, as I said, and it will lead to more opportunities, including to know more people, not just nationally but internationally. Next one. Okay, so let's dive deeper about the important aspects of public speaking. Probably, okay, like I shared about my experience, but what are actually the important aspects of public speaking itself? Next one. So yeah, apparently there are 5 things that I noticed that is really important to we have as public speaking. The first is preparation. So let's say we want to have a public speaking event. The first thing that you have to know is the good preparation. Preparation is including the material. So just remember that people, if you see people, oh yeah, this person is really good in explaining something, trust me, they also prepare that, including the material. So that is really important thing. And then the next one is gesture and gaze. So we cannot just like talk in front of a lot of people and then our gaze just go around the corner of the room without seeing the audience. If you feel like but I'm so nervous if I let them, well, that's just go for it. Just, well, I have someone told me that if you're too scared to see the eyes of people, you can just see like forehead or maybe the nose, so it will not give you a lot of nervousness feeling there. And also the gesture. So the thing is that if you don't feel confident when you speak in front of a lot of people, just pretend that you're confident, because what people see is just the pretend thing that you did, which is the confidence. So they thought that you're confident, even though we're still working on it. And then of course the voice, articulation, intonation, that's also important part. And the last one is practice. Practice makes progress, maybe not perfect but progress. But trust me, practice has a really good impact when you want to have a like speaking in public event. Next. Okay, the next one, what if I don't have experience? Next one, because oh yeah, I want to do that but I don't have any experience of public speaking. That's totally fine, everyone, because okay, maybe some they got privilege that they start faster than us, earlier than us, but trust me, that's their life path. We have our own starting point, so don't compare yourself with others. Just compare yourself. Oh yeah, I get this opportunity, take it, because the one that you have to compare is just yourself in the past. That's a thing. Next one. Okay, yes. Some people told me that it's so hard to speak in front of a lot of people, beside the nervous thing, scared and stuff. But I just want to let you know that yeah, it is difficult indeed, but it doesn't mean it's impossible to do, because I always sure that there is a will, there is a way. Just if you feel scared, do it scared. That's a thing. So we can always learn to
have a good communication and public speaking skills. Next one. Okay, how to start? Next one. So there are several things that we can do. First, know yourself, know what you like to do. As you know, as I said, I start from writing, but apparently when I'm talking about writing, that led me to a lot of new doors. And then start small, you know. So don't think, oh yeah, public speaking means I have to have a good big audience. No, just do in front of your class. Try your best to present it really well. And it's totally fine to make mistakes when you present something. And number 4 is really important, I think. Take every chance you got. Like every chance here, for example, oh yeah, I want to start to be master of ceremony, MC. I want to be like a speaker. Every chance, well, based on experience, if we have the willingness of do that, the more chance will come to us. Take every chance that you got. Someone, for example, oh, do you want to be MC for the PKKMB or like for the OSPEC? Yes, just take that. Even though you don't get for that, just take that. Just remember that's the way you learn. That's the medium for you for practicing your skills. So just take the chance that you got. And then the last one, post it on your social media. Some people nowadays, they want to be mysterious on Instagram and stuff because they're shy. What do people judge me? No, just share your experience. Becoming an MC, just post it on your Instagram. Because we're not famous people, right? So how can people know that we can do that if we never share that to others? How do they know if we are shy and we hide that? So just, you know, post it and, you know, personal branding, right? Just make your intention personal branding, not bragging, because some people also think, oh, it's flexing, it's bragging. No, it's personal branding. Those are two different things. So yes, that's a thing. Okay, next slide. Okay, the last one, how do I practice by ourselves? So the first one, remember that it doesn't mean we cannot communicate well, because public speaking can always be learned. And the thing that we can do, read aloud. Read aloud here is to build a good intonation and, you know, speaking skills. For example, you see like the advertisement on the road when you want to go to the university, read that with a good intention. And then to have like the good spontaneous skills, just ask yourself a question and answer it directly without preparing that, because that's the way that you can do to can I actually answer something spontaneously, because that's what you get when you have a public speaking event. And then record yourself so you know, oh, how I sound, how I look when I have a presentation, let's say, and then start with something that you like, just what I talked about before. So yes, and then the next slide, sorry. Okay, there's a thing. Remember that feeling scared and nervous is a normal thing. Everyone feels that. It's not just you. So do it scared, do it nervous, because past that, that's a part of the process itself. Next. Okay, so I would love to close my presentation with this really good quote from Carolyn Myss, a writer from America. Always go with the choice that scares you the most, because that's the one that is going to require the most from you. And yep, next one, I think that's all from me. Thank you so much, everyone, for paying attention for my presentation. Thank you so much. It gives you really good insight. Thank you. I'll give it back to the moderator.
Thank you, Nadia, for the inspiring talk on public speaking. So it is indeed a crucial skill that impact both of personal and professional growth, right? So guys, because the limit of the time, we should move on to the next session. Like we have Kak Fadila here too as our guest speaker. So for Kak Fadila, are you here with us?
Yeah, hello Farizka.
Okay, so a brief about Kak Fadila. So Kak Fadila is a hold of Bachelor of Law degree from Gadjah Mada University, and now she is currently pursuing her Master of Law at the same institution, which is Gadjah Mada University. So she is also has extensive experience in legal consulting, specializing in business law, intellectual property law, and financial technology regulation. Currently, she serves as a junior associate at Alun Bayu Krishna Law Office. So, beyond her legal career, Kak Fadila is a passionate about public speaking, media, and journalism. So, for Kak Nadia, the stage is yours.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity and thank you for all the committee that held this webinar event. Also, I want to express my gratitude to all the committee and the lecturers. Thank you for having me to this event talk series 69. Okay, good evening, everyone. In this session, I want to sharing about the build good habit while using social media and effective communication, and how does it influences challenges and opportunities. Okay, go to the next slide. This presentation is divided into 8 parts. The first, we will talk about impact of social media to gain information that relate to students' activity. Second is tips 101 how to communicate to the lecturers in community environment. And then the third is 101 how to communicate in work environment. Next slide, please. Then positive and negative impact of using social media. And fifth, activity and experiences that support fresh graduate to face the work industry. Six, we will talk a little bit about Indonesia regulation that related to information and transaction electronic. And then seven, we compare to European Union or EU laws and regulation relevant that related to social media and personal data right protection. And the last is conclusion. Okay, first of all, social media networking has become one of the biggest trends that mark the 21st century, and it has become a part of life for people, especially with young children. The use of sites including Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok is unarguably essential in our daily life communication, a source of entertainment, and sometimes for online learning. And the mass of the youth today enter the world with ready internet access and are now trying to live in the world where information technology influence their social interaction. Also, how it make the perspective on the world. Okay, the first is, what is the role of social media nowadays? It has many benefits also, such as we can gain information like internship, scholarship, volunteering, and so on. And then what is the challenge and risk also? The challenge and risk is also how we mitigate the risk of lack to the misinformation that leads to spamming or just comparing to another sources. Okay, and then 101 how to communicate the lectures in a university environment. And here's are some of the tips and tricks. First, while we communicating the lectures through email, here are some tips. First, use a formal greeting. Example, dear professor, and then introduce yourself. My name is Fadila. I'm from Faculty of Law. Then tell us what your purpose of contacting the professor. And then second, clearly state the purpose of the email in the subject line. Then keep the message concise and respectful. Okay, and then While we interacting in classroom, you can participate actively in discussion by asking relevant questions. Also, you can listen attentively and respect others' opinions. And how about in the office hour and one-on-one meetings? We can make scheduling first, ask the professor what is the proper time for him or her to get the online meeting. And then you must be punctual or on time to the online meetings. Come prepared with specific questions or discussion point. And then go to the next slide. Okay. If student want to seeking feedback and asking for help, you can be polite and say your goals to the professor. And then accept constructive criticism with a positive attitude. And also, while we use the LMS or learning management system, we can strict to the regulation that apply. And also, you can keep message professional and relevant. And here is also the common mistakes to avoid while the communication is effective. You can use an overly casual tone in emails. And then sending emails without proofreading for errors. You cannot also expecting immediate response outside of the office hours. Okay, go to the next slide. Nah, we as a student must prepare be uh, to be faced in the work industry. And here are some tips. First, if we communicating through written and email, I think you can use subject lines that accurately reflect the content. Because our supervisor or manager can understand with the specific tones. And then how if verbal communication? We can speak clearly and confidently when discussing tasks. Then confirm understanding by summarizing key points. But if the decision is unclear, you can ask for clarification. And then if the company have a workplace technology like Slack application, email, or Microsoft Team, you can follow company guidelines for communication platform. I think effective communication in the workplace is crucial for productivity, teamwork, and career growth. And we can best practice for professional communication in various work scenarios, including performing office tasks, collaborating with coworkers, and then engaging with top-level management. So we can be succeed in and addictive in the work environment. Next slide, please. How about the positive impact of social media? As I said before, it is also for access and gain information that related to the activity. Like if you want to find scholarship, you can go to website of LPDP that was held by Ministry of Finance and also another government that supported the scholarship, like Australia awardee or Chevening scholarship that was prepared by UK government. And then it also used for professional networking. Platforms like LinkedIn help you connect to the supervisor or professional working. And then third, business opportunities. Students can benefit their leisure time to find some freelance or internship. And then you can use the social media also for find the online learning platform that we can access free. Example like LinkedIn or maybe some of them like online certification in digital marketing, big data analytics for social science. Okay, next slide. So, how the negative impact of social media? It can be privacy and security risks. If you upload a posting on social media, it means the public can know where are you from and what the location is. So I suggest that we can mitigate some risks by sharing personal information wisely and also setting time management. And then it also can be scams and fraudulent activities and social media platform. Two is spread of misinformation. Fake news and misleading content can create confusion and influence public opinion negatively. And then third, it can be cyberbullying and online harassment negatively can impact emotional well-being. Okay, next slide. So, as I said before, here are some activities and experience that support fresh graduate in preparing work industry. You can because of I'm from law degree, I can give you some example like international conference or joining some moot court simulation. It's like there is some role for judges, some role for lawyers, and some roles for the claimant or respondent. And then you can find freelance or part-time jobs, and then also internship. Internship is benefit for the success of student because we can applicable our knowledge that we get during in classroom, so we can have a vision while a practical work would be. And then go to the next slide. I will sharing a little bit about Indonesia regulation. First is Personal Data Protection Law number 27 of 22. The substantial of the regulation is establish fundamental rights and obligation for personal data controllers, processor, and subjects. And then we have some new revised law is the law number 1 of 2024. Its substantial is okay. In the law number 1 of 2024, there are at least 3 important points in the revise. First is electronic transaction, international electronic contracts, and protection of children as user of electronic system. And then the main obligation for child protection in the ITL law, electronic system operator, or the abbreviation is PSE, is required to apply technology and operational technical steps to provide child protection from the development stage to implementation stage, and then provide a minimum age limit for children, a verification mechanism for a child user, and also the mechanism to reporting the misuse of product, service, and features that violate or have the potential to violate children's rights. On the end, we also have the Government Regulation number 71 of 2019 on the implementation of electronic system and transaction. The key points are it regulates the data localization for certain sectors, requiring data to be stored within Indonesia, and also give obligation for electronic system operators, including data storage and security requirements. Okay, it also has challenge and future developments to the regulation of Indonesia, such as how we balancing data localization requirements with international trade agreements. Strength and then it effect also for strengthening cybersecurity measures to address growing cyber threats. Next slide, please. Okay, we can compare to the European Union or EU laws and regulation on social media. Okay, the first is GDPR 2016/679. The substance spoil is the government is grants individual rights, including success, ratification, and deletion of the consumer data. And then they also have Digital Service Act 2022. In this regulation is tells about the regulates online platforms, including social media, to ensure accountability and transparency. And then what is the challenge and future developments on EU law? So as we entering the digital age, the challenge is how the regulators can maintain and adapting to the artificial intelligence challenge. And we can ensuring compliance across multinational social media companies. And then balancing data privacy with innovation and digital market needs. And based on my research, the EU's legal framework for social media and privacy data protection is one of the most comprehensive in the world because it regulates details on the online platforms and also how they can store the data in the Indonesia. And next slide. Okay, so the conclusion of my presentation is social media of youth identity formation and social relationship is profound and multifaceted. So, social media networking has become one of the biggest trends that mark the 21st of century. Okay, and then it can bring the positive impact, and also in another side, it can bring the negative impact. So, we as the young must be setting the management time and then use the social media wisely. Okay, and then we must mitigate the risk of cyberbullying, the increase in social expectation on looking good, or mungkin lose the ability to interact with people face to face, and the possibility of causing anxiety and depression to the young user. And so I think in the future, the Indonesian government needs to adapt some several provision in the European Union, especially how to mitigate the risk of data breach and piracy of official government website. In other words, a balanced and sensible approach must be employed to protect youth interests in the course of using social media advantages. Okay, again, I think that's all for my presentation. Thank you for your attention, and I bring back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you so much, Kadila, for the really great presentation. So, okay, because of the time limit, we now should move on to the Q&A session, guys. So, anyone you guys would like to ask question, because this is your chance to engage directly with our speaker, ask question, and also gain more insight into today's discussion gitu. Feel free to drop your question in chat box, or if you want to ask the question, you can raise your hand also. Okay, so because there is no people raising hand, I would like to ask question, guys. So I think this is like uh for Sister Nadia, Kak Nadia. Are you still with us?
Hi, yes, sure.
Okay, I would like to ask a question like how can we deliver clear and effective message on social media while like you said before, it's also public speaking, right? You get a question?
Can you repeat one more time?
Okay. How can we deliver clear and effective message on social media? Like, yeah, like that.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for the question, Farizka. That's really good one because yes, as a young generation, we use social media a lot. So I personally prefer. So if you want to deliver something, anything that you want to talk or you want to tell on your social media, just make sure that you know what is that actually. So like the main point of it, and try to make it as simple as possible that you can make, whether it's a written form, whether it's like the spoken language too. Just make sure you know, because I feel like if you know like the basic of it or like the foundation of what we're talking about, of course, well, it's a challenge still, but it's how we make it as simple as possible. For example, we talk about, for example, law like that, but we know that everyone on social media has different backgrounds of it. So just try to make it as simple as possible and use just the words that usually people know, like the general people know about it. And I think by doing that, it's going to be easier for all the audience, which is on social media, there are a lot of people, right? So because when we want to share, of course, we want them to actually understand and know. I think it's totally fine to use just the simple words because that's a point. Like that's why we share it on social media. I think that's from me, Fariska. Hopefully that answered your question.
Oh, that's quite clear, really clear for me. And thank you so much for Kanadia for answering my question. So maybe for the participant, do you guys have any question? Uh, I think I got a question for Kak Dila. Like, what do you think, Kak Dila, if what we should pay attention, what aspect we should pay attention as a student, like what we should how do I say, like what aspect that we should pay attention more if we want to competent in that section, in that what it called, yeah, like in that section, like we would like to improve we would like to competent in that, what can I say, like yeah, I think like that, like what should we take attention more if we want to grow in that in one our section that we would like.
So, what is the main point of the question?
So I would like to ask like what we should pay attention more if we want to be good at one sector of like public speaking, or we would like to good at what can I say, in law, like that, like what should we what aspect should we pay attention to, they if they want to become more competent in their respective fields, like that.
Okay, thank you, Farizka, for the question. Uh, so, what is the main point? So we can improve our hard skill and soft skill, right? That yeah. Okay, I'll try to answer. Mm, okay, I'll give you some example. When I study in college, in the bachelor degree, there are some international conference or the competition that related to law. Example like the mooting competition, simulation, and then I also presented in United Nation simulation meeting, like simulasi sidang PBB, right that. And then maybe we as students can benefit the social media to gain information that like the international international conference, workshop, and also we can practice to the workshop and joining some seminar that related to our degree. And then as we know, there are many platforms online that we can benefit also, like edX, TED Talks, maybe. So and then there is also some free platforms. I think like edX, we can get online learning in the digital marketing or big data for social science, or maybe joining some public speaking workshop. And I think also there is some freelance or the internship that Gadjah Mada University has been joining some partnership to another ministry of or another institution that we can apply to the internship. I think that's all.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Kak Dila, for answering my question. Like, thank you so much. So we have question from the participant, like from Fahmi Muhammad. So I will read the question. So I have a question. What are the tips so that we can be consistent in speaking? I think this Kak Nadia could answer this question.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Farizka. I actually see two questions here from Fahmi, how to be consistent in speaking, and also another one for me as well from Wildan. Thank you so much, Fahmi and Wildan. I think, from Wildan, I think actually the question is pretty similar, how to be consistent and how to improve the speaking skill, especially when we have stutter and shaky voice. Farizka, I think I will answer it at once. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
may.
Okay, thank you. Okay, yeah. So I think it's pretty much similar what I talked about before. When it comes to public speaking, whenever we speak, actually the practice is the main key. But even though we practice, well, of course, we cannot just practice it once. Oh, we have the event next week, and then we practice one. Of course, before, like maybe like the days after, we have to practice it several times. And what I want to say here is that we also need to practice regularly to be consistent and also to overcome the shaky voice, the nervous that you feel. Practice regularly. Practice to, even though you don't have any event, you need to talk in front of a lot of people. Just do that. Just practice that. Talk in front of the mirror. Record yourself, as I said, so you can see how I sound in front of a lot of people, like that. And then when it comes to, if you talk about specifically English, of course, if you want to say something or if you want to say, or if you want to explain something, we need a lot of vocabularies. So it's really good idea if you want to expand your vocabulary, especially in the specific field that Kak Dila talk about. So in specific field they have their own terms that we of course don't know maybe. So yeah, just expand your vocabulary and then control your breath. Just breathe. If you feel nervous, if you feel like your voice is getting shaky, just breathe. Like take a deep breath and then start to talk slower. If you have a lot of time, just talk slower, a little by little, and control your tone, control your voice, your pace. And well, maybe it sounds just breathing, but that's actually like the power when you say something. And then the last thing, when you speak, to be more consistent about consistent itself, just try to make yourself focus on the main topic or the main thing that you want to talk about. And to make it effective as well, just reduce the filler words. For example, like that. It's better to stop a little bit and think. So think before you speak, and then you just say that after you get what you were going to talk about. So yes, I think that's from me. Hopefully that answer Wildan and also Fahmi's question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Nadia, for answering the question. I think because of the time limits, I think that marks the end of the Q&A session. So, okay. So, uh, for those who ask the question, maybe after this you can ask the question in personal place, like maybe in Canada and Kak Fadila Instagram page. You can follow their Instagram and as DMs there they to ask your question and maybe discuss more about this topic today, like that. So okay, guys. That was a fantastic session we had today. We have explored how communication and media influence youth development from various perspectives, like social media, PR, mental health, advocacy, family communication, also public speaking, and digital habits. So I hope today's discussion has provided a valuable insight for all of us. So maybe I am behalf of the organizing team. I would like to express my deepest and our deepest gratitude to all of our speakers for their time and expertise, as well as to our wonderful audience for your enthusiasm and participation in this event. Okay, we hope to see you in the future event. Once again, for me, moderator, I would like to say thank you and have a great day, everyone. So back to MC.
Thank you, Kak Fadila and Kak Nadia, and also the student presenters for giving us a very insightful webinar, and also Farizka for bringing us to a very productive session. Thank you all of the participants for joining us today. We hope you found the discussions and presentations insightful and valuable. Next, I have some announcement for the participants now. To all the participants, we will give you some following information via WhatsApp group, including information about e-certificate, the presentation slides, and then we will also love to hear your thoughts on today's webinar. We have sent the link for the feedback in the chat box and also in the WhatsApp group later, so please take a few moments to complete it as your feedback help us improve future events. And that leads us to the moment that we've been waiting for after having talked with our speaker, documentation session. We would like to ask the participants for turning your camera on to show your nice face. All right. Yes, please do turning your camera on. Okay, now everyone is ready. Now in the count of 3, give your best smile. 1, 2, 3. All right, next slide, please. Please turn your camera on. Show your nice face. Thank you. I see some of them already turning their camera. All right. In the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, that is it, everyone. Thank you so much for attending our webinar. We hope you have the best time and have the valuable experience. That's all from me. I'm Syaqina, the MC, signing off. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.